Good morning. This is Cosimo Maraffa and Silvia Bishik, and we will today go through the 6D process. And Silvia will give us her viewpoint on how her time is being until now, how she's going forward. But before we start, Silvia, please tell us who are you, what you're doing, why are you here?
Hello, Cosmo, and thank you so much for inviting me over. So my name is Sylwia, and I'm an English to Polish business translator located in Warsaw, Poland. I've been the translator for over 14 years, and about a year ago, I started experimenting with creative writing as a way to express myself and build an authentic presence on social media. This is all related to my job because as a translator, I'm very high quality oriented, very much trying to convey my client's message. And sometimes this is limiting in a way when I want to express myself in social media, because on social media I use completely different skills, right? Different writing skills. So I'm not supposed to be high quality. I'm not supposed to be super faithful or be very analytical. For content creation, you need a completely different set of skills, and so I had to teach myself new skills if I wanted to build a successful online presence. And this journey helped me to create a space for fellow linguists and other freelancers where we can practice our writing, share our pieces, and just brainstorm ideas. So that for all of us, online presence is a source of joy and pleasure and not stress and frustration.
Wow, it sounds interesting. Thank you for sharing. Um, if we ask you, what was one challenge that you had in the past and how did you get to overcome it?
Mhm.
What would you mention here?
Well, being on LinkedIn was hard. I had a love-hate relationship because on one hand, I knew that it's a platform for professionals where I'm supposed to market myself, where I'm supposed to show my expertise. But at the same time, I felt a lot of frustration because I felt I had no ideas. I felt translation is not a sexy subject. And so there was a lot of frustration in me because I just couldn't express myself freely because I had high expectations and just felt constant presence of clients who will judge me based on what I write. So there was a lot of self-doubt and frustration. And one day I just had enough and I told myself that something needs to change. And I had a vision in front of my eyes of what the situation would be, like ideal situation I would like to have in 6 months' time, that my clients would find me on LinkedIn, that they would love my post, that they would love to work with me, and everybody would be very happy to find each other on LinkedIn. And I thought to do that, I need to work on my writing skills. So I found a quick writing course which I took, and I liked it so much that after I completed it, I said to myself that I will try to write just for myself for 10 minutes every day and see where it goes. And so I did. And at first, they were just little pieces that I wrote for 10 minutes, nothing special. Just I took a photo or I wrote about a conversation that I overheard. And over time, it just got easier to write, and it gave me a lot of pleasure. It was fun to write something creative and to come up with ideas. And over 3 months' time, I noticed that not only I have ideas to write my little creative pieces, but also that the ideas for LinkedIn posts started to come. and I was able to transform simple everyday situations into posts related to translations somehow. So, for example, I had a plumbing crisis at home, and I had to find somebody to fix it. So it inspired me to write about looking for a translator, whether you should look for an agency or a individual translator, what you should think about when you're looking for the right person. So it really got easier, and I felt that it was a process, it was a transformation, and if I could do that, who I'm not a professional copywriter, so if I could do that, not being a professional in that field, then other people could do it too. And this is where I thought about creating a space for others to go through
Wow.
the same process.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you will touch the heart of a lot of listeners today because this is something that is somehow in us that we want to bring out to the world. And let's jump directly into the
Mhm.
6D process we're doing
Yes.
on this podcast. And for everybody who today is maybe the first time listening here because they thought, hey, let me check out what Sylvia is telling us. And I will do a little preview from the 6D process. What actually is, if you go on a future view and you would express a desire, what is the first D? What would it
Mhm.
be? If you take a desire, you need to take a decision, second D, to make it really happen. And what is the declaration or mission statement about this desire you're going to accomplish? The fourth D is every declaration is nonsense without devotion. So, what are your devoted action steps that you are taking? The fifth is when you're taking action and maybe you see, hey, there's something to be updated, you need to develop. And the 60 will be what is your view when you deliver, when you are on the top on the mountain? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you maybe envision as a next desire? So, Sylvia, can't wait to hear your desire for the future and for our listeners.
Mhm. Well, thank you. Well, my desire would be to share the journey that I took and see how other people use it and they benefit to grow from being uh, from seeing a blank page when they are to write a post to write the post with joy, with pleasure, even within, let's say, 30 minutes, and that they feel no limitations when it comes to their self-expression. They so I would like for people that work with me to feel at ease when it comes to content creation, and uh, for them to feel the power that they have inside, that the creativity that we all have inside, and go beyond those limitations that we often feel when it comes to presence, especially on LinkedIn, I think, because we see it as a professional platform. So sometimes um, we focus more on showing ourselves as professionals, and we stop creating with ease and with pleasure. We just see it as a one more marketing task. So I want to change that.
Wow, okay, so an interesting desire. And what did you decide to accomplish it actually?
So I decided that, well, starting from myself, because I I'm I'm not professional in all that. It all really comes from my journey, from my experience, from my heart, and how I want others how I want to share it with others. So I started as an introverted translator who hid behind her computer, and I changed into a proactive person that leads the sessions, answers questions. I help clear doubts. I also need to market my group, support my people on their journey through LinkedIn. Uh, so these were the decisions that I had to take to help others. So I had to accept that I am still an introvert, but being in a group of like-minded people, respecting them and feeling the respect, building the atmosphere of trust. So, these were the decisions that I had to take, and it was a growing journey for me. But I see so much benefit in others after several months that we've been working together that it's all worth it.
Wow, interesting. And if you would frame it in a declaration or in a
Mhm.
mission statement, what are your inspiring words?
I would say combine inner creativity with content creation. So I see the two as the two pillars of successful LinkedIn presence. It's not just the posts, it's also the mindset. And the mindset itself won't do either. So they meet together like yin and yang, I would say.
Interesting. Okay, so every declaration without action is like a fresh shower, but nothing else. How do you devote to get this really happen?
Mhm. So last year, it started with my idea to create a free group for fellow linguists uh, where we would write together. So I would create a visualization, then I would prepare a prompt, and then we would write for 10 minutes and share our pieces later on and brainstorm any creative ideas. And that would take 1 hour once a week. And this free group has become a very tight group of people that support each other. And I don't imagine myself now not having that group, that supportive group. And it also served me uh, to learn how to be a leader, how to come up with topics, and then it proceeded to create a paid program, which, in addition to the creative session, I also added the content creation session. So we have 2 sessions per week. One focused on creativity and the other one on drafting posts. So first we flex our muscles, our creative muscles, and then in the second session we write the actual post. So there is at least one post that we create per week.
Wow, interesting. I can feel the goosebumps from a lot of listeners here out here and how you devoted to this. And I can see your sincerity in your being.
Thank you.
And the next D is when you're devoting to something, you see, hey, there needs to be some improvement, some
Mhm.
development. How do you develop and keep updated to be on the right time at the right place with the right people?
Well, being a translator helps because we are very disciplined people, and we need to be organized to handle different projects and deadlines and different issues that come up usually when translation is involved. So that helps. But also listening to the needs of people that come to my sessions. If sometimes they have some questions about LinkedIn, sometimes we brainstorm different ideas. And sometimes it's even creative ideas that I can come up with, and we write just for 10 minutes. So sometimes those creative ideas can serve as a base for an interesting LinkedIn post. So I think being flexible, uh, being open-minded is important to when develop a program for other people.
Wonderful. Thank you
Yeah,
for
and
sharing.
also. Yes, well, the important thing is to write for 10 minutes. And I know that the time seems is very short, but it's really to quiet our inner critic, because when we have a lot of time and we are creating a writing piece, our inner critic might start judging us or telling us that it's not good enough, or it should be expressed in other way. So when we write for 10 minutes, there's no time for that. So there's no time to look for the best word or to correct the punctuation and so on. So we really focus on putting down the ideas that we have in our head. And well, working on that muscle, working on that skill is really important and helps us write the post later on, because we stop questioning ourselves.
Love it. Amazing. Okay, now we arrived at the final D,
Mhm.
delivery. You're on the top of the mountain. You see your customers, your clients there with you. What is your view? What do you smell? What do you feel?
I see consistent presence on social media, especially on LinkedIn. I see that it brings pleasure, that our sessions help to express yourself, and you have no writer's block. And if there is an inner critic, you can ignore it, or you can put it aside and just focus on your task. And you see being on LinkedIn as something natural and safe, and something that doesn't trigger feeling of frustration or self-doubt.
Wow, wow, wow. That sounds something um, that a lot of us listening to you right now will experience with you on the top at the delivering. So, to round up this podcast, is there one last thing, maybe a little gift for the listeners you have brought to us and want to deliver?
Mm. Well, when it comes to social media presence, I think that we all have mastered being experts, because we come to LinkedIn as experts, but sometimes that self expression is something that we need to work on, something that we have might have some concerns or doubts. And that mindset pillar is really important. And well, I have overcoming the inner critic, I think, might be a little difficult part. And I have a little story, if I can share, that
Yeah,
might illustrate the idea of the inner critic. So
please.
I have a daughter who moved out. She lives on her own, and she bought herself a Doberman puppy. And this type of dog is very protective. And when somebody walks by her apartment, the dog would start barking when it was a puppy. So even though he didn't know if that was danger or not, he still kept barking just in case. And I understood that as an analogy to our inner critic, who also, when it sees that there is a new situation and some perceived danger is there. So the inner critic would alarm us, and it would make us feel uncomfortable about the new situation, even though there is no real danger, like with online presence. So even though it's a platform that we need to be there, we feel uncomfortable. And the creative sessions that I run help to uh, get used to being get used to help us to get used to being on LinkedIn and feeling comfortable with what we put out there. So that's my story.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this story. And I don't know if I remember right. Is there something coming up that you are kind of organizing? I don't know, correct me if I'm missing out something.
Yes, yes. So I was thinking about creating a more sustainable presence, a subscription program for people, freelancers, coaches, lawyers, linguists to join and work on their creative writing and content creation together. And I would like to invite listeners to the free creative writing session, which I organize later in June. And just to show what it will be about, I prepared a free gift, a visualization that they can download and listen to, and also sign up for the free writing session.
That sounds amazing. Can't wait to come over and listen to you and participate in this session. And the listeners will see the link down here.
Mhm.
For now, we are saying goodbye. Thank you to Sylvia for being our guest on this podcast, and see you, listen to you, and hear you soon the next time. Here was Cosimo Marafa, Training Academy, and Sylvia.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
You think it was okay? There were